Unscripted.
Many things undoubtedly change over the years when it comes to video games and video game consoles, particularly when you come to a new launch of a next generation console. You have a lot of people sort of looking at what's actually going to come down the line in terms of the exclusive content and the content that you won't be able to get on the other platforms, and I think that's going to be a big determining factor on how well these things sell. Again, this puts Microsoft at a distinct disadvantage, at least early on. I think 2023, 2024, 2025, those will be excellent year for Microsoft and Xbox exclusives or console exclusives or whatever you want to call them. Those will be the fine prime years of Xbox. The only problem with that is we're in 2020 and you have to get to that point first. Well, you look on the Sony side and they have a much better lineup, not only at launch, but going into next year as well. Big games, small games, games in between. You know, it just seems much more aligned to what people have come to expect over the years of video game consoles and quote-unquote next generations. With that being said, we had an impressive leak as to what we might be getting announced very soon, and it sounds impressive, especially if you're a fan like me. This is going to be too good to be true. I'm excited. I want to hear more about it. I'm sure you guys are going to want to hear more about it too. What's up, everybody? Crapgamer here with Crapgamer Reviews, back with another video. Thank you so much for checking it out. I appreciate it. Please like, share, subscribe. I would appreciate that as well. It helps out the channel, and it means a lot to me personally. If you guys wouldn't mind, just hit the like button. That's all pretty much it takes to support a small channel like mine. Take a minute to consider subscribing if you haven't already done so. Shout out to all the old subscribers, new subscribers, everybody in between. You are fantastic, lovely people. Thank you so much for the support. This is Unscripted Gaming by me, yours truly, Crapgamer. So thank you so much for joining me. With that being said, Sony has a pretty good lineup, okay? Yes, some of it's cross-gen or whatever. They have 3 cross-gen games. I do believe that is, a bit of a bummer. But still, when you look at it, and they're launching with Astrobot, they're launching with Sackboy, they're launching with Demon's Souls, they're launching with Destruction All-Stars, they're launching with Miles Morales, and that's just this year. They also have Godfall and some things like that aren't available on Xbox. But when you look at next year, they're launching, with even more games. Gran Turismo 7, Horizon Forbidden West, God of War Ragnarok, Kena, Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart. They're also going to be launching with 2 at least timed exclusives, maybe 3 timed exclusives with Final Fantasy 16, also Deathloop, also Ghostwire Tokyo, which are from Bethesda, but are still timed exclusives for the PlayStation 5 platform. So they also have Returnal. So they have a very good launch year. You go year to year, and those games are probably all going to be out by the next year at the end of the year, and I think that's an incredible lineup. But what's more is there's supposedly more in the hopper that really kind of goes to show that they've really went all out getting people the content that they want. And the funny part is, it looks like Sony's own developers are kind of leaking this and teasing this for a while now, and we just maybe didn't notice, and it sounds like it's probably all coming around full circle, and we're going to get an announcement very soon. So this is really cool. So last year, Blue Point Games, who are renowned for their ability to completely remake games and classic games and bring them into like the new millennium and new eras and things like that. So they did the Demon's Souls remake. They did they've done a lot of stuff. They did the Titanfall port to the Xbox 360. They just do a Shadow of the Colossus remake. They did that gorgeous game, maybe one of the best looking games of this generation. Again, so last year they tweeted out on Halloween, "So calm this spooky night, a symphony of rumors, not one but two, return from shadow, a resistance to dart home as black monsters escape twisted hills to wander lands and siphon souls. Filter your candy collections, soft from solid, and be eco-friendly, have a metal Halloween." So obviously there's a lot in that teaser, okay, including siphon filter obviously, but you also have to solid, metal. Again, get it? Metal, solid. Okay, if you need me to kind of spell it out for you, this latest rumor is that Metal Gear Solid is reportedly getting a full remake as a PlayStation 5 console exclusive, which would be huge. If you guys didn't know, and you haven't followed my channel for a long time, I am a huge Metal Gear fan. Now, Metal Gear Solid on the original PlayStation was the first game as like a kid, teenager, whatever. Myself and my friends, we would hang out and we stayed up all night just taking turns on certain levels beating that game. That was like the first all-nighter that I remember as a teen or whatever. So yeah, the PlayStation 1 game, which originally released in 1998, has been previously remade once before, Metal Gear Solid Twin Snakes. It released on the Nintendo GameCube, which is actually the definitive version, in 2004, and introduced many gameplay mechanics from Metal Gear Solid 2 Sons of Liberty. The reported new remake, which comes from Red Gaming Tech, actually, which I will link this article that will hopefully get you guys to check it out in the description below. A YouTube channel that specializes in gaming hardware states that the stealth espionage action game will be built from the ground up for the PlayStation 5 and will also come to the PC. Furthermore, the sources also believe that Metal Gear Solid 2 Sons of Liberty, Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater, and Metal Gear Solid 4 Guns of the Patriots will also be getting HD remasters on the PlayStation 5. It's likely that these will be more akin to what we saw for Metal Gear Solid HD Collection, which had better resolution, frame rates, and trophy support. The HD remasters are tipped to be exclusive to PS5, though Metal Gear Solid 2 might also come to PC. Again, this is something that Sony is probably banking heavily on. Listen, Sony has a pretty good relationship with Konami. It makes a lot of sense for them to do this. There's also still the rumors of some kind of Silent Hill game. Maybe they weren't ready to announce that yet. Maybe that's not real. Take all this stuff with a grain of salt. Obviously, even if I can link it, it's still something that people should sort of take with a grain of salt. And I just feel like that's something that realistically people should, maybe don't get overtly excited about it, but it is still good news, and it does look like, where there's smoke, there's fire, and I just think that that's something that, a lot of people would kind of realize and kind of understand when these things come about, that you do have to take some of them with a grain of salt. I just hope everybody kind of does that. Again, Metal Gear Solid is one of my favorite franchises. I think it would be great to get 4 and be able to play through that again. I know a lot of people, it's like old games, you always talk about old games. Listen, I still think I'm huge on game preservation. The problem is I don't want to play the PlayStation 1 version of Metal Gear Solid 1. Okay, I would love to play a completely redone version by Bluepoint with trophies and all that kind of stuff that keeps the same that keeps the story and maybe gets the same people in for the voice acting or something like that. I think that would be huge, and I also think that that's something that a lot of people would be interested in. I think Konami probably has a lot of interest in that. I think that's something that Sony can easily get out of them, be able to do Silent Hill or Metal Gear Solid or these types of things. I think that's a very smart move by Sony, and I think that it realistically does put a little bit of pushback on Microsoft for some of the things they're doing. Now listen, Microsoft, they're obviously buying studios. They're really into kind of doing all this kind of stuff, and I get it. Microsoft really wants to compete. They really want to be out there doing things that no other company's doing, but they have a completely different tactic and strategy than, say, a Sony, and that's fine because both these companies are allowed to have different strategies, and a lot of these fans are going to have to kind of deal with that and understand that. Even for me, it's hard seeing Microsoft's strategy as one that I particularly get behind, because I don't care about gaming on PC and I don't care about gaming on a mobile phone, so I only care about the console. But at the end of the day, they're trying to get people to game on their platform, whether it's a TV version or on a phone version that you're streaming while you're going to the bathroom, or a smartwatch, who knows. But it's just one of those things that's kind of ridiculous to think about, and I just feel like that Sony's is much more traditional, and I kind of can get next to that a lot more. That would be very, very interesting for me, because there's always going to be rumors about these things that come out, and no company's going to be perfect, but we do tend to get these remakes and stuff if they want to test, if publishers want to test and see if particular games have legs going into the next generation. So that's something that everybody should kind of keep their eye on, and I do feel like this would be pretty big news if indeed it does get announced, because I think there's a big fan base for those. And again, I've always considered Metal Gear to be a PlayStation thing. I know that it's been multi-plat before, but I've always just considered it to be a PlayStation thing. It feels at home there, and it feels like that would be a huge, huge thing in favor of PlayStation if they were able to announce that and get, say, that and Silent Hills as PlayStation 5 exclusives. And Bluepoint does absolutely fantastic fantastic versions of games, the way that they are able to completely go out there and redo these things. So I do think that that's something that everybody should be sort of excited about, and I'm hoping we get to see more of this soon. Man, I wish this year would have just been like regular years, to be honest with you. It seems so bad that we're not getting the announcements that we probably would have gotten if we wouldn't just be mired down with all this kind of negativity and, you know, pandemics and all this kind of stuff. You know, it's been a very rough year for everybody. That's why I'm so excited about the next generation consoles. So yeah, very, very excited. I'm very happy to kind of be able to finally be able to hear about more what's coming down the line and exactly what to expect. Again, this would be fantastic news. This would be a big bonus for PlayStation 5, and I feel like they need a little bit of that positivity. You know, Microsoft did a good job of kind of stealing some of the hype. Even myself, very hyped about the Bethesda announcements by Microsoft, but then you sort of realize that, hey, these things might not be coming anytime soon, so that hype dies down a little bit. But again, like I said, you know, 4 or 5 years from now, Microsoft will be set. Sony has to be able to have stuff to counter with, and I think this type of stuff would be a great move, in my opinion. Anyway, I would love to hear what everyone thinks about this down below in the comment section. Please, please, thank you so much for watching. Consider subscribing. Take care of yourself. Stay safe, happy, and healthy, one and all. Have a fantastic day. Rack 'em up, my friends. Game on. Game on. As always, the one and only Crapgamer. Out.
Unscripted.